If you with it, drop it.
Okay, so let's get into it, right? So my audience is very much in, I would say, transition, right? Life transition, career transition. Maybe they are going through a divorce, or their kids are moving out, or they're kind of in a midlife, I don't want to say crisis, but crisis or transition, where they're like, hey, do I really want to be doing this for the rest of my life? Or do I need to shift into something else? So I really want to talk about how you support women or leaders, not just women, because we have some men too, but leaders in transition, right? What does that look like? We've talked a little bit about me being in transition. So what are things that we need to notice about I'm in a transition or in a breakdown, right? That feels so shameful sometimes to just say and admit and vulnerable. I'm in this transition. I know the transitions can look different, but what are ways that you can identify, like, hey, I'm in a midlife crisis, or I'm in a breakdown in my life and I need some support. You know what I mean? Let's start there.
think it's really recognizing where you are as a person and what your needs are. Because the transitioning is essentially you pivoting to something better or something fresh. So it's really identifying like, what do I need right now? I have gone through so many transitions and so many pivots and this move here and what I notice is that it's like a feeling, it's a sensation. It's really being with yourself, knowing what it is that you need and knowing what's going to fulfill you. Only you know what you need. No one else can tell you this is what I need right now. Only you know when you are thirsty. Only you know when you are hungry. Only you know when you get to have a deposit in your account. Like only you. Only you know when the bills are due. So it's really essentially communicating with yourself and knowing like I'm making the right decisions for myself at this time that's going to allow me to transition if that's what I want. Because sometimes it's not a transition, sometimes you're just bored. Sometimes it's not that I want to pivot, it's that there's another idea that I've had that I've been sitting on that I want to birth. Sometimes it's you have already written the three books that they're there. Shit, go out and do something fun. And it's just really identifying, well, what's going to nourish you? Because in transitions or as people are moving through their life and they're pivoting or they're thinking about what's next, there's something missing. There's something missing. It's an element missing, whether it's a partner or a child or, the space that they're in or what type of business they're running. There's something missing. So when you want to transition, it's really identifying, well, what am I really transitioning for?
Let's get real, because I love when you get real. Yes. But let's say I think the biggest issue that I'm finding, especially with clients and just observation, is that a lot of people don't know themselves. They don't do interpersonal work, right? Like even when I talk about personal growth or personal development, that feels like such a foreign concept for people, right? And so some people, but I feel like a lot of us really don't know ourselves as well as we think, right? So I think sometimes maybe a listener is like, it would be so nice if I just knew myself in the way where I can say, this is what's missing, and this is what I need to do in order to get what's actually missing. But I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in this idea of, and I like to talk about renegotiating identity, where we're like, I thought I would be married. I didn't think I would be a this age and not have a child. I didn't think that I would be this age and be in a career transition where I'm starting over, where I've built this or, climbed this mountain in one industry and now I'm starting from scratch in another industry. So like when life gets messy and you really don't have a sense of self the way that you thought maybe you did when everything was going well, then that to me feels like the messy breakdown. And so, like, when I get there, how do you support your leaders in still showing up in that place personally and still having to come to work and be a lead a team, still having to be a business owner and continue to be powerful and to inspire your audience? Like, I have this mess over here where I thought it was going to be one thing, and now I have to I still have to show up. I still have to, and I don't want to say put my mask on, because I don't want it to be inauthentic, right? And that's what we'll
Yeah.
talk about next. Is like, how do I continue to show up, not be inauthentic, but also continue to move forward while I'm in this breakdown in my life and I don't know what the hell is going on. So like, help me with that. Coach me, girl. Let's go. It's me. What would you tell me?
When people write books, or when people are creating art, or when you're creating something, it can be stimulating if you have music or something over in the background. Most times artists want to be alone with their thoughts, with their ideas, with their downloads. You're not going to be able to download what's next if you are cooking meals, if you're with your kids 24/7. And what I say to that, because honoring all my mothers out there, like all of my mothers who have birthed, all of my aunties, like what an honor for your kids and your community to have you. There are times where you get to walk away. I have I have clients, they run a company, two women, they have 9 kids between both of them.
Mm,
And my feedback to them is go get your nails done. That's your homework. I need pictures. And don't run in there and run out. Like, sit with being alone with yourself. And oftentimes, people don't know themselves because they have been people pleasing for their whole life. So let me cater and please to everyone else. But like, you're the one crying alone in the shower at night. You're the one by yourself in the bed. You're the one trying to navigate that. And, it's also being intentional. It's like really being intentional. Okay, so I want to have a partner, or I want to get married, or I want to do something. Be intentional. Go out on dates. Go out and be what's wanted and needed so that you can have that joy. Go have somebody cuddle you. Ain't nothing better than a cuddle, right? Like, go out and seek the things that you want. I'm not saying be promiscuous. I'm saying be curious. Be curious about what's on the other side, because the things that the most fearful of, the things that hold us back, confine us in boxes, and just again, you're renegotiating not only your identity with yourself, you're renegotiating the responsibilities you have to create joy for yourself. Like, your purpose on this earth is not to just grind and hustle and be in this place of being depleted, which is why I moved from where I was. It's to create joy, it's to find happiness, it's to find your sense of self, to center yourself in the things that make you happy, in making your home a sanctuary, not a place that you are suffering. We are humans and not meant to suffer. We're not meant to be here to suffer, to be in tragedy, to be in pain. And oftentimes people, oh, I need a coach, I need a mentor, I need a therapist. Yes, you get to have all of those things. And what about having time for yourself? I invite people, play with your inner child. Like, if you can actually picture her and go and see her, like I've done so much work on self that I'll play with my inner child. Sometimes she want to color. Sometimes she just want to lay on the ground. Sometimes she just want to cry. The other day I just started crying for no reason. I forgot what I was saying to someone, and I said, no, 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 it's because it's my season or whatever. I'm emotional. It's like, no, that's how I felt. Like, own it. The person was telling me, own it. That's how you feel. Say how you feel. And so say the thing to yourself first. Y'all are so busy on the internet being you know we're so busy consuming the things that are not meant for us to consume the way that we're consuming. We're so busy out there being busybodies, looking at other people's life, trying to figure out what's going on with other people. We're so busy deflecting. And then you wonder why you're not happy. You can't be in a space where you want to create joy and you want to find your joy, but then you're in a commitment to not wanting to do the work. Like, there's this fine line between I need something and I get to have something and I have everything I need. Most people, y'all have everything you need. It's really like being with that and knowing that no matter what's happening outside, You have to regulate your nervous system. You got to regulate what's happening inside of you. You're the one that, and if you don't want to deal with it, you get to remove yourself. People really want, people want time.
Mm. And we talked a little bit about earlier about burnout, right? There's a lot of, it's almost a epidemic of women of color and just people in general, but I know specifically with our communities, ambitious women leaders are really experiencing another level of burnout, right? So, how do you recognize burnout and what are some quick tips in order to, and I know that you already gave us some, right? I think that I love that you're talking about that team because people are like, I don't need a coach. I'm strong enough. I can make this happen. I don't need a therapist. I'm good enough. I'm held. I'm whatever. Like, I don't need this support. But if you were doing something physical, then it would be totally okay with you getting a coach, right? It would be totally okay with you getting a support team to help you win the Olympics, right? And so in the Olympics of life, I don't understand, I guess, as much because subscribe to coaching and therapy and support, why we don't necessarily feel, and I know that there's stigmas around it and societal and religious and all of those things that, oh, you're supposed to be stronger than this, and I know that that has a, a weight to it, but I also know that we're experiencing burnout at like extremely alarming rates. I've gone through that personally myself, where I think that it absolutely has impacted my own health issues over the last 4 years. And I think that we just need to talk a little bit more about how stress and burnout is really impacting us, and what are some like quick tips on how we can recognize, hey, I'm in burnout, and what are some things outside of just hiring a coach or some of the things that you've already mentioned that they can do in order to address that.
Yeah. I think for me, burnout from in my experience is already being checked out before the day starts.
Mm,
Like, I don't want to go to those meetings. I'm good. It's like it's talking yourself into the day versus talking yourself up for the day and giving yourself that confidence and that motivation you need. Um, Burnout is recognizing that, you get to spend time with your kids and you get to spend time at home and figure out what that looks like. Um, and burnout is also like, triple booking yourself,
mm,
saying, okay, I got these four things going on at the same time. Burnout is people walking in and around when you're doing when people walking in and out of your life when you're doing really, 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 really well, right? But people not staying when you're not at 100, right? And recognizing like, dang, everybody's around when it's all good, but where are the people that I need when I get this diagnosis or when I don't feel well? And it's also like just really knowing yourself, knowing that, you know, 16-hour days, 350 days out of the year, that's burnout. Yeah, we get to hustle, we get to be in alignment, but I think that that's one of the pieces. Um, and it's also recognizing when you need time. I had a client, she was calling me for a while and we just didn't connect. You know how you call somebody and you were like, I called in October, but then I didn't realize that she didn't call back. So I called in November, but then I called four times in December. So we were like hit or miss. And I said, what happened? And she said, like, I had to have I had to have an ambulance come get me. I said, why? And she said, I had a panic attack at my desk. And I just started crying. And the first thing I said was, when was the last time you cried? And she was like, wow, I haven't had time to cry.
mm,
I get up I do my workout at 4 in the morning. At 5, I'm in my commute. By 7, I'm at my desk. I stay till 9, 8 or 9. I go to the gym. Like, she had this regimen even on the weekends. So when she recognized like she didn't have time to be with herself, she was like, I didn't think it was that serious till they came to get me. It's like recognizing like you don't have to reach that point. We don't have to reach that point. We get to really figure it out. Utilize your FMLA. I said it. Utilize your any benefits that you have. You've been working for 15, 20 years. The way that I transitioned out of my company was my dad passed away and I needed some FMLA. I couldn't go back to work. I was calling him from my desk at work. My dad had already transitioned. That's when I knew I was burnt out. I called him because he had an appointment that week. Mind you, I just buried him.
Mm,
So that's when I was like, oh, wait a second. I had to literally like sit. And I didn't know what I was or I wasn't doing because I'm on autopilot. I'm taking dad to the doctor. I had two full-time jobs at that time. I was just started my foundation 10 years ago, almost, when my dad, transitioned. And it literally, I was on autopilot. I went right back to work after I took a couple of weeks off to, support my dad. I got on the phone. I'm on the phone with Sloan. I'm booking his appointments, and I'm like, "What? Something's off." Oh yeah, your dad is not here anymore.
mm.
Um, and I think it's just recognizing when you need a break and what you need it for. Breaks are great. How do you regenerate? How do you because it's not always a coach, and it's not always just. Sometimes it's just you sitting alone, like you literally being on the lawn, being on the beach, being outside, just being with your thoughts and saying, "What? Let me process what the heck just happened for the past 2 weeks or the past week." And sometimes that's a form of exercise. Like I had one of my clients write a joy journal, and I made her write 500 things that bring her joy.
Mm.
And and it's only a book of joy, meaning that like she can't touch the book unless she's gonna create joy. That's the thing. Or she's in a place of like, she opens it up, she picks something up. Like it's all like really figuring out what the tools are. You know what I mean? Like what's gonna work for you? What's your punch? What's your drink what's your choice of beverage? Are you juicing? Do you need like what is it that you need? What combination do you need, excuse me, for you to thrive? Because I always tell people sometimes, and I'm a coach. Yes, bring clients will come and all of that. I'm also a realist, and I've also recognized that sometimes too much is too much. Um, and so that's where I come from with my leaders because sometimes it's just too much is too much and it's not giving what it needs to give.
And I think recognizing that we live in a culture of too much, right? Like that is how we are conditioned. I'll never forget, like I worked for um a Swedish company, and the first day I got there, they were like, "Oh, you have 5 weeks of vacation." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And like I didn't even it didn't even make sense to me because I was like, wait, first I don't have to work a year to get it or work or earn it, right? Like earn it through my hours I get vacation. And they're like, nope, day one, 5 weeks of vacation. And I was just like, wow, because I realized that, they were in Stockholm, and the way that they looked at work was completely different than the way in America we look at work. So we also
Yeah,
recognize that we're in a culture of hustle. We're in a culture of comparison because of social media. We're in a culture of, am I doing enough or am I watching someone else and comparing myself to someone else where I feel like I need to do better? So I think sometimes we get to a place, I know for me personally, I know I got to a place of burnout and didn't even really realize until my body started to communicate to me, I am shutting down. Like just
that's
like you
it.
said about your friend, like I didn't even realize that I was in burnout until my body literally started to shut down on me. And so I think it's such a serious topic, and I want to have more conversations around, especially around those women, because women are kind of groomed to be everything to everyone and feel like our worth is inherently connected to how we serve others, right? Because that's what culture tells us. Like we need to be nurturers and we need to be mothers and we need to do this and we need to do all things and we need to do this. And so I think we are very much conditioned to believe that we need to be all things to all people. And if we're not, then we're failing. And I think that that mindset alone of our culture and this hustle culture and the work culture absolutely contributes to our own contribution, us contributing to our own burnout, because every decision that we make leads us to where we are, right? How can people find you? You are up to so many different things in terms of helping to create and cultivate community with women and girls and farming and retreats and a variety of different places. So people are gonna want to catch up with you, find you on social media, find you what you're up to. So tell us where they can contact and get in touch with you. And
To get their life. You can find me on LinkedIn, Dailisha Eve Rodriguez. You can find me on Instagram, just my first name, Dailisha. The same thing for Facebook and our website, heytherebeautiful.org. We're in a great transition now, so our website will be up and running. We're getting a beautiful makeover, so I'm excited about that. And that'll be relaunching our site in March. And definitely check me out on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place now where I feel like there is so much more that I can offer from there. We have some retreats coming up. I have some international retreats coming up that I'm super excited about. So definitely connect there. And yeah, I'm here. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. And if you're watching, connect with me. And I don't know where you're gonna post this. Normally, I just put my all my information is pretty much housed on LinkedIn. My numbers are there, my email, the same thing for Instagram. And I say that because my cell phone number is there. Like people are always like, where are the resources? Where are the resources? Where are the resources? And it's like, here are the 37 numbers you can call.
right.
And they're like, feel like it. It's like,
37.
okay, okay. But the resources are out there, the people are out there, and like what Nicole said, I'm really here to just spread love the Brooklyn way, y'all. So I hope to hear and see from y'all, see some of y'all at my retreat. I have one coming up in April of 2025 to Mexico. I have one in the December of 2025, Dominican Republic. And we're working on some stuff next year. So yes, stay tuned. Been around the world and I. Come join. Come join. Get recharged.
So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your support, all the ways that you support not just me, but people and leaders in the community. And I appreciate you. So thank you so much.
Give thanks. Thank you so much.